Welcome, everybody, to episode 2 of the Ganking Azeroth podcast. My name is Wayne Payne, and with me today, as it will always most likely be, is Rurruk Gaming.
Hey.
Say hi. There you go. So, last week was our first episode. Yeah,
Definitely. I was very excited about it. Not for a slow start, but it's to be expected.
yeah. I get.
I'm enjoying it.
Our hosting site showed more plays than I thought it would. I
Definitely.
wonder how many times it counted us checking it, but
So I've been
probably-
checking it the last 2-3 days, and we're up to 19 plays for our first one, which is really good. I think that's a lot faster than either of us thought we were going to do.
Oh yeah.
And it isn't counting my checks. So yeah, we got 19.
Yeah, that's good.
So I'm excited about that.
Yeah, me too. I thought it would. Yeah, like I said, it was way better than I thought it would be. So that's good.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess diving into episode 2 here, as we're doing this, we're gonna have to come up with like a title for the episode other than episode 2. You know, I notice most podcasts have like episode 345, something or other. We'll have to figure something out. So
Yeah, we'll figure something out. It's a work in progress here.
it's a work in progress, is right. So yeah, starting off week 2 here. What did you do in WoW this week?
I did some leveling on my Proud Warrior yesterday. It was actually kind of fun. It was something different. I haven't leveled in them probably a couple weeks, so it was nice getting back to doing that.
Okay.
And then the only other thing I did was I did some emissary quests for my participation gear. I got 3 upgrades for my Azerite pieces. They went from like 375, I think it was Heroic Gold Deer, whatever Heroic Gold Deer was, and I upgraded them all the way. So now I got 3 brand new 390s.
Okay.
And that's all I did.
Oh wow, yeah, nice participation gear. Yeah.
Yeah, it was great. Like it took me a whole probably half hour to do the 12 quests, and that was it.
Cool. Yeah, so I didn't do much of anything. I had my warrior, a Fury warrior. I did what's that thing they do on the ship the missions. I did a bunch of missions with him, and that was it. And then on my one of my alts that I'm leveling, one of the allied races, the Void Elf. I have a Void Elf mage I'm leveling. She's at 108 now. That's all I've been doing. So I've just been running, getting close. I've just been running dungeons, and then I screwed up, and I forgot that between levels 100 and 110, the fastest way to level is to do those Legion invasions, and I forgot. So, yeah.
Do you still get your artifact weapon? Because I haven't leveled anything around there since last expansion.
You get it, and
so
that's
you
it.
Get to go and do it.
You get it, and that's it. You don't level it or anything like that. You don't get the special talent. You just get the weapon. So,
I believe you can still collect some of the appearances, or no?
I think you can collect most of them. I don't want to give out the wrong information, but I think you can get the ones that are like gameplay obtainable. You know what I mean? So like the Mage Tower.
Yeah, that's the Mage Tower.
The Mage Tower is gone, so obviously you can't get those. But I think you can get the other ones. I would have to look into that. I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah, I'd have to. I've gone back once, and some of it wasn't locked, and I was like, oh, maybe you can still farm it. But I don't. That's about all I did with it. So
yeah. So I mean, other than that, I didn't really do anything in WoW this week.
No, it was kind of a boring week for WoW.
It's a really boring week. I don't want to talk bad about the game. I love this game. I've been playing it for God knows how long, 11, 12 years, whatever it is. It's in a bad spot right now. There's no like. There should be something to do with my main character, but I have nothing. It's world quests. So I'm not gonna talk bad about it anymore. I promise. So that's all I got. I guess we could just jump into the WoW news this week, right?
Yeah.
All right. Let's see. The first bit of WoW news we got here is this was something that was up last week. We just didn't talk about it during our last podcast to kind of spread some content out. It's involving benthic gear, which is the gear you can obtain from Nazjatar in patch 8.2. Blizzard came up with a whole little guide, so to speak, on the gear. So basically, they're introducing this new type of equipment called benthic gear, which you will collect while you're, like I said, while you're out running around in Nazjatar. As you are collecting this gear, you are going to get an item called prismatic mana pearls. If that isn't a tongue twister. So as you collect those, it's a soulbound currency that you'll be able to spend on benthic tokens and upgrades. Uh, these bind to account tokens can be used to gain a piece of upgradable benthic gear to your armor type, cloth, leather, mail, or plate, starting at 385. And they go on to say, with enough time and effort, players can dedicate their hard-earned mana pearls to upgrade pieces to eye level 425, just shy of heroic raid gear eye level 430. Besides
It's just
purchase, so just we'll go back. Don't worry. Besides purchasing these, you'll sometimes get some chests throughout the zone, um, and then each,
and it says it drops off enemies also.
yeah,
I was reading.
then each set boasts a thematic bonus that applies to Nazjatar. So as you get benthic gear sets, you'll get set bonuses, which is kind of neat. So
Yeah, so
going,
it's like the bonuses you can get from that was a set for combat. Oh wait, hold on. I had this written down. Shit. Go ahead.
okay,
Just cut that out.
we'll cut it out. Uh,
Oh wait, well, I found it. Sorry.
okay.
Uh, you get the bonuses of damage, slowed enemies, or you can move faster. I don't know if you said that or not.
No, did not.
Yeah, so that's with like the special Najatar bonuses that you can get
The
with the
biggest
Benthic
problem
gear.
I had here, and some people are probably going to disagree with me here, but like we've talked before that we're both not fans of participation gear, and
Mm-hmm.
as this doesn't, it's not right away participation gear, but with enough time and effort it is, because as you're grinding out those mana pearls to upgrade your gear, you can literally upgrade your gear to heroic raid level,
Yeah, which
which
is
I don't like.
430 for 8.2.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about that.
It's
It's better than what it is now, I guess. But with like if you took out the whole Titan forging aspect of the gameplay across the board, remove Titan forging, I would be okay with this. But when you have Titan forging involved, and then you have this, there's just too many ways to make it too easy to get heroic level raid gear. You know what I'm saying?
and then there's no point of what's the point of doing the raids besides getting the mounts, and the titles. Like you sit there
Right.
and you make a raid for I don't know how long it takes them to make raids. I'm assuming it takes some months, maybe even a year to make a raid, and then you're just gonna give them this gear set where you can upgrade it just by killing crap in the zones, and now all your hard work's basically out the window.
Yeah.
If it was catch up to do normal, I think it'd be okay, but pushing it to heroic should not happen.
Yeah. Yeah.
The only good
I
thing
see
about
both
it,
sides. You know what I mean? I see both sides. Go on.
no, I was gonna go on to like how you can kind of customize it and how that's a little better than what it was because before it was just a gamble on what you got, but you can kind of customize it now.
Yeah.
But it still doesn't fix that as participation gear. You know, you
Correct.
don't really have to do too much to earn it. You just gotta kill stuff and find chests. And I'm assuming you can get these tokens out of running dungeons and everything else.
The way I take it looks like it's whatever you do has a chance to drop
Yeah.
the
So
currency. So
I don't know. It's
I was
the
a
only
bit
thing.
I was gonna say I was a big fan of this system in Mist of Pandaria, but foraging isn't the way it is now. It was there, but it wasn't as prevalent.
I I wish they would do. Sorry, my
You're fine.
screensaver came. I don't know how much I screwed up anything. I wish they would kind of go back to the way they did in MOP, where you just base set item or whatever. Like if you do heroic rating or whatever it is, and you get the upgrades for doing dungeons for the week and rating, and you get like the upgradable parts for it. And then that should be the way you Titan forge your gear. It shouldn't be an RNG drop. You should have a system to how you can actually get it.
Right.
So like, okay, you killed 10 out of 10 raid bosses this week. Okay, you got 100 upgradable. You got 100 tokens to upgrade the gear like you used to get in MOP. I don't know what the numbers were because that was a while ago. And then I'd be like, okay, so to upgrade it from 0 of 2, it would cost like 200. Then you would go to like 1 of 2, and then you do it again. They'd give you something to do every week during reset.
Yeah. Like I said, I would be okay with this if forging wasn't a thing, because this would give you a way to, like, let's just say you're having bad luck in raids, you need to upgrade your gear. You can take the time to grind out what you need. Now
Yeah.
it's where you could get a drop in a normal, and it can be mythic level gear. It's like, that's just not right. So,
Or you could not get a drop for an entire raid gear.
or that, yeah. And this is a way to combat that problem. That's why I like this. I think that's good when you have when you're not having good drops, just bad RNG with getting drops in general. But
But in my mind, it should not be heroic raid level.
yeah,
And then I also think if they need to get rid of Titan forging and put it back to kind of how they had it in MOP, where you had stuff to do every week, and then you could purchase and 1 of 2 upgrade or a 2 of 2. You know what I mean? You remember how it used
yeah.
to be,
Well, that's how this.
and
That's
that
what
should
I was gonna say. That's
go
what
ahead.
this benthic gear is. Is that system? It's just, yeah. I don't know.
But
The,
going up to 430 is ridiculous,
yeah.
if you ask me.
If that's heroic level raid gear for this next
It says
tier,
just shy of heroic level raid gear,
so
according to
heroic is
the.
probably 435 then, right?
I would
Yeah. So
assume.
like if you just this is what I think. If you were to just get the benthic gear off, like, world drops throughout the world, you shouldn't be able to upgrade it past. You should be able to get it to normal level, but you should not be able, or just below normal level, right? And if you get normal level gear, you shouldn't be able to go into heroic. It should be just below heroic. Same thing with heroic. You get heroic gear, you should be able to upgrade it to just below mythic level, but it shouldn't go into mythic level. You know what I'm saying? And don't get
Mhm.
me, like the currency involved, it shouldn't be very easy to obtain. Like the picture they have here is 20. I don't know what the drop rates are of these mana pearls, but I would expect it, like,
Yeah.
for me to enjoy it, it would have to be a lot higher of a currency than 20.
Like I get it's a catch up mechanic, but they should really stop it at like normal, if you ask me. But
Yeah, and I just want to be clear too that this is my opinion before it's come out. I haven't done any PTR testing or anything like that. This is just reading Blizzard's post and reacting to that. So I don't. Maybe I should play the PTR and give it a try to see how it really is. But as of right now, I'm 50-50 on this.
same for me. I have never played a PTR. I should probably download it, but I don't know, I'm one of those where I want to earn what I have, and just right off the bat giving me 430 gear is kind of, once I upgrade it, is kind of ridiculous.
Right. Right.
Because now it's like, oh, I'm just gonna jump right into mythic, and I'm not gonna. I don't. It doesn't work for me. I think people need to earn it. You just hand everything out, and that's why the game is kind of in the situation it is. Because if I don't get a purple every time I do something, it pisses me off. You know,
Yeah.
and if it's not an upgrade, it pisses me off. But one of the good things about it, yeah, when you customize your character with 6 unique bonuses, put together pieces to create a powerful set for combat, or collect a set for optimize for exploration, or mix and match to have the best of both worlds. And so I'm assuming the unique bonus armor is, because on the picture it had stamina, strength, haste, mastery, and intellect. So it sounds like you can kind of pick what you want. They're kind of going back to, you're able to choose instead of it just being RNG on what you get.
Yeah.
So
Well, I think
now
that's just what the upgrade gives you. I think they're just showing you the difference. I don't know if you can actually pick that.
it says customize your character up to 6 unique bonuses. So I thought you could pick it. I don't know. I
I
haven't
think
done
th-
the
I think
PTR,
I
so I
think
have no
those
idea.
I think those 6 unique bonuses are like the crazy shit that it does. I don't know. We'll have to play the PTR, I guess. But Like I said,
Yeah,
I don't know, so I'm just reporting on what Blizzard said. So
and like
yeah,
so you also got to remember you get like bonuses for being in as the target. You can get like the increased damage on enemies or slow enemies, or you can move faster. So
yep.
I don't know. We'll have to try
So
it.
I'll have to try it out. It'll be fun. Let's see. Some more news this week. We have the Midsummer Fire Festivals coming up.
Yeah, I haven't done that since man. I think when I started the game. I honestly don't even remember really what it is.
Yeah, the last time I did it was when I just took the whole thing and grinded all the. And you got to go collect the flames, and it's something to do with the fire. Here, I'll read the description. All right. The Midsummer Fire Festival is a time of merriment and festivities, celebrating the hottest season of the year. Festival bonfires are lit around all of Azeroth and Outland, and players can travel to each to honor or desecrate their flames. The festival is a reference to real-world midsummer celebrations during the summer solstice. There are a number of things to do during the Midsummer Fire Festival. Visit bonfires, toss flaming torches, or battle rogue elemental spirits. Visit the various bonfires located throughout the world will reward gold and burning blossom, which can be used to purchase various foods, festive clothing, or even fun toys. Players can also earn burning blossom by completing the available festival daily quests. The most skilled of adventurers can choose to delve into the slave pens and battle the elemental Ahun.
Hmm.
So that's the whole description via Wowhead. Uh, yeah, the last time I did this was it was probably 3, 4 years ago now. But I just had ran around the entire world and collected all the bonfires and got an achievement and called it a day, I think.
Yeah, the last time I did anything with that I can remember was oh god, back in Ma probably when I first did it, and I used to do all those things. I don't even know how far I am. I remember just getting a guide and running around collecting stuff, and that was about it.
Yeah. Let's see. The event starts on June 21st and goes through July 5th.
So we have
Uh,
some time, so I'll have to take a look at that more and
There's also a dungeon
actually do it
that
this year.
dungeon that you can join. Is what they're talking about. Slave pens. And you battle the Ahun. I mean, it's fun.
I can't
Stuff
remember if
stuff
I ever did
drops.
that.
Yeah.
I can't. I'll have to go and check my achievement log and see how much of it I've actually done. Um, and then also this week is the weekly quest is 10 skirmishes. And for me, it gives me there's like Azerite as usual, and then my chest is a 370 if I do it. So I'm probably not going to because it's none of it's an upgrade on top of PvP. I don't know what yours is if you even looked at it yet.
I don't really do those.
I don't do the PvP either. I just do the mythics and the time walking.
No. Yeah. It depends if I do the mythics or not for the weekly quests. I don't. Yeah. Sometimes I do.
Man,
Sometimes I don't.
getting on like a little bit of an angry soapbox here. So the last time I did it, was 2 weeks ago. Like getting into something like Raider IO and something I don't like, but it's like I was trying to do just mythic zeros, and because I don't do much mythic plus, like I was getting kicked out of doing zeros. It was so aggravating. It's like it's a zero. Ah,
Yeah. That is what it
man, but
is.
that's a route that we I don't know if we should take it.
The only thing that I'm gonna say about that, so we don't get too negative, is that Blizzard needs to break that add-on. It's ruining the game, and that's all there
Yes.
is. That's all there is to say about it. There's nothing
Yep.
more. There's no details. I think for those of you that like it, you're gonna hate me for saying that, but I
Yeah.
think it
Same, but
needs to
I
be
think it's
broken.
bad.
It needs to be broken. That's it. So let's see. We covered benthic gear, Midsummer Fire Festival, and I got this some new toys, mounts, and pets for patch 8.2. Uh,
A bunch of mounts.
a bunch of stuff. As of the recording, Blizzard still doesn't have a release date for 8.2. But at the rate we're going, I'm gonna assume it's gonna be late June. even maybe even mid-July, to be honest, because they're gonna try to time it with Classic release, and Classic release is end of August, so probably a month and a half, I would say, before Classic releases. They're gonna drop this, so mid-July is when I bet you we get it.
What if
By
they drop it like right on classic and like now choose which
that,
one you want to do?
well,
That would kind of suck.
nobody's gonna be playing 8.2 if that's the case. So
Yeah,
instead of,
looking at this,
oh, go ahead.
I was saying looking at this here, like on just did a quick count of the mounts. It looks like they have 26 coming.
Yeah,
That is with my math.
yeah, it's pretty
Right then.
crazy. So we'll start with mounts, and instead of reading off what every single mount is, we're just gonna give. I'll just read off each type and how many. So starting off, there's 9 reputation mounts you can get, 3 achievement mounts, 1 profession mount, 4 quest mounts, 4 rare mob mounts, meaning you kill a rare mob, has a chance to drop a mount, 3 vendor mounts, and 2 raid mounts. That's a lot of mounts for one patch.
Yeah, like I said, I believe it's if I count it correctly, it's 26
I don't know how that
mounts.
I don't know how that stacks up compared to other patches, but this just seems like a lot
Yeah,
to
that's
me.
a lot more to collect, try and grind, especially the rare mobs. When I mean, you can still found. I'm still trying to farm Pound Fist because I've never seen him in my game. But
Yeah.
so I wonder how hard those are going to be to actually find. Um, so
One thing to touch about with these mounts is that one of them is one of those like a motorized wheel mount, and then there's one that's a freaking crab that walks sideways.
yeah, when I don't even know how you get this. When's the bee coming? Is that out already? Can you get that
I
thing?
think the
I've
bee
never
is
seen anybody on it.
I think the bee is coming this patch. Actually, you'd have to. I once again, I'm not 100% sure, but I do believe that bee is coming with this patch.
Um, a couple of things that I like is that they have like if you get exalted, you can purchase a mount, like the vendor mount.
Yeah,
I think
that's
those are
neat.
kind of nice.
Yeah, that's neat. They had that. I mean,
And I wonder
they've
if
had that for most expansions, but I just think that's a good way to be like, hey, you grinded this out. Here's your reward.
yeah, and with Blizzard the way they do things, it's grind out all this rep. We're gonna tell you we're gonna give you something, but then you gotta grind,
Yeah.
40 days with a rep. So
Let's
yeah,
see. So there's the crab. There's the wheel. I think there's also. I think we're also getting the, what do they call them? The mount attachments, so to speak, to where like if you have the water walking piece, all your mounts will have
yeah,
water
you get like
walking, not just the water
a
striders. That's
fountain
something to
gear.
do with the mounts.
How do you feel about that?
I don't know. It's it's kind of it's for me. It's weird because I took the time to grind out that water strider so I could have it, and now
Same.
everybody's gonna be able to have it. So even the people who didn't put in that hard work are just gonna be, oh, we all got water walking now.
Yeah, see,
I
I
don't.
don't like the gear for him either. Not at all.
Yeah, I'm not a fan. It's a neat
Uh,
idea, but I am not a fan.
and
I
like you were
guess.
saying, it's like the biggest thing is like I farmed that Nad Pagel stuff for I don't know how long so I could get that mount,
Yep.
and now just to give it to someone like it for doing nothing, it's aggravating.
Yeah.
And I don't care about getting the whole knocked off thing. Like I don't know, if you run fast enough and you run through mobs, they don't knock you off anyways. Eventually
I
you
think
might
that had
fall
more to
off,
do with
but
PvP, but still, I
well, then
don't
it
know.
needs to be PvP specific, if you ask me.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, the biggest thing is the water strider. Like that makes me mad because I you sit there and farm it for I don't know how long, and now it's useless.
Yeah. Now, yeah. Now, I think if you have the water, I think they made the change that where if you have the water strider, you're still going to automatically have the water walking. Because the way it was going to be is that even that water strider wouldn't have it anymore, and you'd have to grind out that mount attachment to get it. And people
So
were like, "What in the?" people were like, "What in the heck is that?" So
Hmm.
I do believe that Blizzard made a post saying, "You know what? We're not going to take away your water walking from your water strider. You'll automatically have that." So
Good.
that's a good thing. But on the flip side, you know, but once
It's
it's
still dumb.
just to go back into it again, I have not played 8.2. I have not tried any of this. So this is just me saying what I'm saying before actually playing it. So shame on me for
Yeah.
that, but that's just how it's going to be.
Hmm.
So let's see. There's also a whole bunch of pets. Again, I will read off what all these pets where you can get them, and then we'll go from there. So there's 2 achievement pets, 2 island pets, 2 pet battles, 3 reputation pets, 2 quest pets, 2 junkyard tinkering pets, 6 raid and dungeon pets, 23, 23 rare mob drops in Nazjatar and Mechagon, 9 treasure drops, and 5 vendor drops. It's a lot of
Yeah,
pets.
23 rare mob drops is that's crazy. That's a lot crazy
So
amount of pets coming too.
yeah, it's a crazy amount of pets. It's pretty neat. I mean, if you're a pet collector,
Yeah, definitely if you're a pet collector. Like we were talking before last week, I kind of stopped after it came out, but oh, maybe something to get back into. Maybe we'll
it's
see.
it's something to do during the lull, during
Yeah,
the patch lulls.
kind
So
of like right now,
yeah,
just collecting
it
pets and battling
probably wouldn't
people.
be a bad idea to do some pet leveling right now, to be honest. But I guess
Hmm. And they
Ah,
also give you a bunch of toys too.
yep, a bunch of toys. You want to go through the toys?
Sure. Yeah, you get one achievement toy, 4 PvP toys, 4 quest toys, 3 profession toys, 1 rep toy, 11 treasure and rare toys, and then 2 vendor toys.
Wow. Again, that's a lot of toys. If you're a toy person, there you go.
Yeah, if that's your thing, you get a. How many you get here? One,
Math's hard.
like 20, 26 of them. It looks like.
Yeah, it's a
Just
lot.
doing quick math, kind of counting here. So.
Let's see, 8, 9, 12, 13, 20. Yep, you're right, 26. Bam! Math freaking genius.
Yeah.
Uh,
So if that's your thing, you get a bunch coming. I don't know what any of them do. I haven't really looked them up. I don't even know if they have pictures of what they are or.
there's only one toy I really ever use, and that's the Hearthstone board,
I don't
where you
even
can
know
throw
what that
down the
does. I
heart.
have it.
You can throw down a board and actually, you don't actually play a game of Hearthstone, but your tunes act like they're playing Hearthstone, which is neat. But yeah,
How would that be if they could put that into the game where
oh my
throw
god,
on the Hearthstone part and you could play Hearthstone?
that would be so awesome.
That'd be kind
Actually,
of fun.
yeah, that would be amazing. Then the other change with 8.2 they talked about was the heritage armor, but we touched on that last week. So if you want to hear our opinions and takes on heritage armor, check out our episode 1, our first ever episode. And you'll hear us talk
And I
at
also
length.
believe that was the first thing we talked about too.
Yeah,
So right in the beginning,
yep, you'll hear us talk in
and you have a
length
whole
about
another hour and a half worth of great content.
yeah. So that's all I got for uh, retail, so to speak, news. Uh,
Yeah. So we got
moving
the
on.
classic
Yeah.
discussion like we try to have every week.
Yep. Yep.
Um,
Go ahead.
Wowhead has made a talent tree calculator. They had it out like last week or the week before. I think I seen it, so it's somewhat of a new thing. But you can go on there, you can pick your class, and you can see all the talent trees and all the points. You end up getting 51 points to level when you get up to 61. Yeah, and you can just pick and choose what would be the best build for you.
Yeah.
And
It's,
that's
it's, it's
if you
actually
go
pretty
to
neat.
yeah, I've been playing with it. I always mess with the druid and you to do the whole the whole boomkin. I don't know what the heck they're called. Like I'm assuming boomkins. To do that, just that class set or talent set, you cannot fully do it. You'll be one talent point short.
Oh,
So you have to
interesting.
drop one somewhere so you can get boomkin form, which I don't even know what boomkin form does because I don't play. I play guardian. So
What I love about classic is how, I mean, you can just make your character any way. You want to go full arms, boom, you go full arms. You want to go fury with a little bit of arms, you can do that.
Mm-hmm.
And if you want to go prot, you can go full prot, or you can go prot with a little bit of fury, maybe a little bit of arms. I
I
mean,
wonder if some of them never, like I said, just playing classic up to level 10. I wonder if like someone that plays prot, they just get like the most important things and they put everything else into like damage or something.
yeah, I've never really looked into like classic builds, but I'm pretty sure that that's how it is. They take, yeah,
No one ever does just like one full talent.
no, they always pick and choose little things out of the other ones.
It'll be a
It's
lot to learn when I'm not a classic noob anymore, but
yeah, I mean,
that's coming here in the future.
it's great. I can't. I am so excited for classic WoW. It's not even funny.
Mm-hmm.
Just looking at this talent tree makes me excited. Because when I first started playing, the talent tree was still there. It was
Yeah,
just
when I started at the end of Kata, it didn't, but you still had to upgrade every ability you had.
yeah. I don't remember.
But I don't think there was
I don't
talents. And if
remember
there
when they
was
got.
talents, I never clicked that page because I was so new and didn't know about it.
I think they got rid of the talent tree or the talent tree in Cataclysm at some point. Because I remember this when I started, I not really knowing what the hell I was doing. So
You
yeah,
started at the beginning of Kata, right?
it was
I think that
either
one just came out.
I think it was either the beginning or midway through.
So remember when we were finding it for you, they said Wrath of the Lich King was the hardest one to find, and we went to I think like 3 or 4 different stores back when Amazon wasn't a thing.
Right.
We had to sit there and shop at Best Buys and WalMarts to find it.
Yep. Let's see. Classic WoW discussion. Some more topics here. They raised the level cap in the beta from 30 to 40.
Which is good. I mean, eventually they're gonna have to go all the way to 60, so you can test it, and hopefully you can test raids. Um, I just wish they would invite more people. I'm assuming they will be.
I know
Um,
they've been inviting more people. I've been seeing on Twitter people are like, "Oh my god, I got my beta access." So
no.
I think it's slowly but surely they're inviting people. And at some point, they're gonna open it. They gotta open it up, right? At some point,
Yeah,
they'll open it.
I would assume they do like what they did with Overwatch, where you can get the game for the weekend or something like that. You know,
Yeah,
I guess we'll see.
I guess we
So
will
yes, that's
see.
good news. And then they opened up Arathi Basin beta testing for the PvP. So you're gonna have to invite more people because remember Asbin saying I saw one of his tweets about how it's taken like a half hour to get into Arathi Basin.
Yeah.
It's a little ridiculous for a testing, but I don't know.
Is Arathi Basin the one that never has the possibility of never ending?
I thought that was I don't PvP, but I thought that was that. I'm not even gonna say because I don't know. It may have been Arathi Basin that was the 24-hour
There was one that could,
fight.
it could just be endless. It had the possibility of being endless.
Yeah, I remember Swifty talking about that a long time ago on one of his YouTube videos. He said that he was in one for like 24 hours. So I don't know if that is that one or not. Um, but that's
Woo! We'll just have to find out when it happens.
yeah, that's way too long for me. I would quit. Not that I PvP, but that is way too long.
Not for me. I would do it. Call in the work. We just cut out the F word that we said twice, so we lost like a minute podcast there. Okay, so okay. Uh, there's really nothing else to talk about other than, I mean, the biggest thing with WoW, the classic WoW, is that they raised the level cap, and
Yeah,
all the streamers have content to play now. So that's about it.
yeah. I don't even know how many more dungeons you get doing the 10 levels. I seemed like a lot back when I was actually leveling a character, but I don't even know.
Yeah. So I guess we'll just move on then, huh? Talk about
Yeah,
Diablo. No Diablo.
yeah. That's it for WoW and Classic.
Yep.
So on Diablo news, season 17 started a couple weeks ago, and as usual, you get the starter sets for each class. So the Demon Hunter gets the Shadow Mantle, Barbarian gets Might of Earth, Wizard gets Firebird's Finery, Witch Doctor gets Jade Harvest, Monk is Sun Wuko, Crusader gets Thorns of the Invoker, and Necromancer gets the Inarius set.
So since I
So
don't
you can get
play,
those.
so since I don't play Diablo, what are sets?
It's like tier gear from WoW. So you want to. So how the season works is you start your level from 1 to 70, and then you start working on these quests that will give you two pieces of your set. And your set is tier set, which just gives you bonus to a specific build. So
Okay,
like in WoW, it would be like your tier sets where you get like 2 or 4, you get like a special bonus, and then 4 or 4, you get another bonus.
gotcha.
So then also with the season, you also get some rewards with it. You get a pet, you get wings, and you get a portrait. The pet is called Old Growth, and it kind of looks like Groot from Guardians of the Galaxy. If anyone's seen that, um, and the wings are the galactic wings. They're kind of like the bat wings that you get, but they have like stars on them, and they're brown. And then the portrait's kind of it's got like a skull on the top. So
And the
pretty neat.
port the portrait's just like a portrait, right? It's not doesn't
Yeah, it
do
just
anything
goes
with the
around
game.
like your no, it just goes around your picture, your in-game picture. When you're in your
Gotcha.
group up at the corner, and then those you also have to get by doing the quests for you get those when you get your gear. So
Gotcha.
you don't
And
have to
then
really do anything.
wings are just cosmetic. They don't do anything either,
Yep,
correct?
wings are cosmetic.
Okay.
They just sit there. So
Very good.
they've also had some quality of life changes. I'm going to read exactly what they have. So Blizzard added 3 more torment levels to the game. So it stopped at 13, but now it goes up to 16. So it's going to be a lot harder. Um, so with the torment levels, you'll get more experience, more gold, and more blood shards, which is good. Blood shards, especially because you can actually um, get different tier sets in the game. Each class has multiple tier sets, so you can buy blood shard or use your blood shards and possibly roll and get a tier set. Plus, it improves rewards for bounties and Nephilim rifts, which is a common thing um, you do in Diablo. They also added the search feature for the chest, which is awesome because I'm a hoarder when it comes to that crap everywhere. So trying to find like your puzzle rings and stuff so you can go into the goblin zones is kind of a pain in the ass to find when you hoard everything. Then there are a few small changes coming, such as expanding and collapsing all button for recipes and crafters. So if you want, instead of now where you have to click each one to open it up, you can either open them all up or close them all, which is kind of nice. Most bounty indicators appear immediately after entering the bounty area, whereas before you'd kind of have to run around and then you would get an arrow as to where the somewhat of direction you have to go. And Death Breath now dropping from Haragic caches, which is good because Death Breaths are used for crafting and also your cube when you want to take legendaries properties off and put it into cubes, so you can kind of have like a double bonus. Uh, and then Harajuku catches are the 5 bounty quests for each player of them. So
A what cache?
they're called Harajic caches. So
Oh,
in each zone you
Heragic caches. Got it.
Haradric.
Oh, Herodric. Got it.
Harad. Yeah, so
Okay.
you get each zone has 5 quests that you get, and then you go back and talk to Tyrael, or yeah, I believe his name is Tyrael, and he gives you like just a bunch of bonuses stuff. So
Okay.
gear, blood shards. It's pretty neat. They're pretty quick. Yeah, and
Yeah,
then
I
also with the
okay.
quality of
Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
so also with the quality of life, you can now earn additional stash tabs throughout the season. Spend a raise from 4 to 5. So stash tabs is like your box where you hold all your stuff, and it being raised from 4 to 5, and it's PC only. So if you play on console, you do not get this. I don't know if they're coming with that in the future. It didn't say anything about that.
Okay.
But for us hoarders like me, getting more boxes to put stuff is amazing. And then with season 17, they got another buff. Players' damage dealt increased by 750%, and damage taken is reduced by 4% for every ancient item they have equipped while having no set bonuses act. So from what I get from this, if you have ancient items, which ancient items in WoW and Diablo is kind of like WoW's Titan. It's just kind of like an extra bonus. Um, so how I take this is if you don't have a set bonus, but you do have ancient items, you're going to take more damage, or you're going to give more damage and take less damage. So that's pretty neat.
Oh,
And then also, I logged in this time. I thought I don't know when this came up because I've seen other people with this pet before, but way before me. But 20 years of terror happened, and you get the little figure of Diablo from Diablo 2 as a pet to walk around with you. So
yeah, I think that came from a while back.
yeah, and I must not have logged on like a 10-year anniversary or something to get it. So I got it this time, 20 years,
Very good.
and that was really about it for Diablo.
Seems like a lot, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
For somebody who doesn't play, that seems like a lot of information.
Yeah. Um, but like when a season start, you always get your starter set, so they always have that. You always get a pet that you get, a new portrait, and wings. So that's just standard season stuff, and you don't have to play that set. So like this season, I'm playing Necromancer, and I get the Inarius set. So that's just your starter set to so you can able to do better or more
Right.
higher rifts. And rifts is like the competitive part of it.
Gotcha.
And then but you don't have to use that set. Like as you kill stuff, you're gonna get drops and you might get a different set and you can start working towards that because it might be better than what you got.
Okay.
Yeah. And then just with the torments, all it is making the game harder. And yeah. So making the game a little bit more harder, get more drops of stuff. All is
M-
good.
More space. The horde sounds great.
You have more space to hoard if you're a hoarder like I am in the game.
More hoarder space is always a plus. So, moving on here, we've got Hearthstone. There was some news. I'm not gonna lie, I haven't played much Hearthstone recently, but there was an update on June 3rd called Rise of the Mech. It basically introduces you. You'll get a, let's see, if you log in, you get a golden legendary that does some neat stuff. Let's see, it's a snip snap with the magnetic and echo dealies, and death rattle summon 2/1/1 microbots. I think magnetic. Does that mean it like sucks in other mechs and adds onto it? Is that what that is? Do you know?
um, I don't
Shame
know.
I didn't do much research. I just saw the news and put it on there. I'm not gonna lie. I should probably do more research with it. But
Yeah, for someone who I don't really play Hearthstone, I stopped after Nax Ramus because I'm just not games.
so yeah, I mean basically with Rise of the Mech, you get a whole bunch of there's a whole bunch of new cards that came out, and you get this legendary minion. And also, I do believe it was the next update for the most recent dungeon. I think the next week was released of that. So there's a ton of class changes here, or class card changes and neutral card changes, I think. I don't want to go too in depth because we are not very versed in the world of Hearthstone. Uh, so I
No,
will.
but I figure we could probably read what they do, so people that do play it know if they haven't read it. I don't know if you want to.
You
I could
can
read
if you
them off
want.
for you quick.
I will, however, still put in the show notes. I'm going to put a link to this because this is pretty. It's a lot of changes. Rurruk will read them real quick for us.
Yeah,
But
so each class got two changes, two card changes, and like I said, I don't know. There's only one on here that I think is would seem really good, but I have no idea. Like I said, I haven't played the game since Nax Ramus, so I really don't know what I'm talking about. So for the Druid class, the Gloop Sprayer went from 8 mana to 7. The Mulch Muncher went from 10 to 9 mana. For Hunter, Necromaniac went 5 to 4 mana. Or no, Necromechanic, sorry,
Necro
went
Mechanic.
from 5 to 4 mana. Flark's Boom Zuka went from 8 to 7 mana. Mage Unexpected Results went from 4 to 3 mana. Luna's Pocket Galaxy went from 7 to 5 mana. That's the one that I was reading that and I was like, well, that seems like it's really good. It might be overpowered. I don't know. I don't play Hearthstone, so all I know is Luna's Pocket Galaxy changes all your creatures to one mana. So I don't know if mages run creatures anymore. I have no idea, but that seems really good if you ask me. Paladin Christology went from 2 to 1. The Glowstone Technician went from 6 to 5. Priest Extra Arms went from 3 to 2 mana. Cloning Device went from 2 to 1 mana. Rogue the Pogo Hopper went from 2 to 1. And Violet Haze went to 3 to 2 mana. Shaman the Stormbringer went from 7 to 6 mana. Thunderhead went from 3 attack 5 health to 3 attack 6 health. Warlock Spirit Bomb went from 2 to 1 mana. Dr. Morgan went from 8 to 6 mana. And then for Warrior, Security Rover went from 2 attack 5 health to 2 attack 6 health. And the Brillum Nullifier went from 3 attack 8 health to 4 attack 8 health. So I don't know if that's good. Let me know. Like I said, the Luna's Pocket Galaxy seems like a
Did
really
you say
good
anything about
buff.
the reckless experimenter?
I have not. I was just about to get to
Oh,
that.
go ahead. My bad.
So,
Keep going.
this is exactly what's taken from them. I just copy and pasted it, which is probably bad, but whatever. I did it. Reckless Experimenter. They said we've decided to make changes to how Reckless Experimenter functions due to an unwanted interaction with Snip Snap that allows for an early game infinite damage combo in priest decks. We are also aware of some interactions that Snip Snap creates in Wild when played alongside multiple mech warpers, and we'll be keeping a close eye on his out over the next few weeks. It says players will be able to disenchant Reckless Experimenter for its full Arcane Dust value for 2 weeks. And then what that card does, so I wrote down the text. This is it's a death rattle card. It says minions you play cost 3 less but die at the end of the turn. And then the new text they added, so it's the same thing, and then they added cost cannot be reduced below 1. So yeah,
Oh,
that
I
was
see.
everything for.
I see. Yeah, because I bet you the mechs were being reduced down to 0 mana, so you could just play the crap out of
Yeah,
them.
just play. Yeah, you get a whole board F7 and just wreck face. I'm assuming.
Yeah,
So
I can see why they'd make that change. Okay. Oh, there's also some quality of life changes they had. Reconnection improvements. Players who are disconnected from Hearthstone due to an unstable connection, switching applications, or by locking their mobile devices will no longer be directed back to the login launch screen when attempting to reconnect. The game will now seamlessly reconnect in the background from any screen instead of only during gameplay. This includes during deck building or while browsing the collection manager. They wanted to note that they are still improving the feature and you may encounter some issues. They also added a pop-up that let players know this was happening. So, that sounds like it's good, right?
yeah,
There's a good quality
definitely.
of life change. And you can now access your collection offline. How does that sound?
Oh, so you can
Sound
sit there and look at all your cards and stuff and make decks offline.
looks like it.
That's nice.
Any changes made in the collection manager while offline will be saved on the player's device until the next time they regain network access. Note that some changes may be lost if a player creates multiple decks or edits the same deck simultaneously on multiple devices. It's pretty good, I think.
Yeah,
Offline
sounds
mode
good.
is nice. That's actually really nice. What would be cool
Yeah.
is if you could play. What they should do is make it so you can play offline with one device between two people.
Oh, okay.
So
So
like
kind
I
of
could
like
so like I could build a deck and then I'd make a play and then it would say you have 10 seconds to pass your device. So you pass the device and then the
mhm.
next player would make their turn. So like just back and forth. That would be pretty neat.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely.
They've implemented some matchmaking improvements. We've implemented a new feature to reduce chances of matching against the same player multiple times in a row. That's pretty good.
Yeah, how are they going to do that though? I think they addressed it later in the post. I don't have it in front of me, but once you get up to like legendary rank 1, I mean, who else are you going to really play besides the same 5 people every time? You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
probably just legendary people. I don't know how that works.
And I'm
Let
assuming if you're rank 25 like I am, which I think is the lowest, um who else are you going to play down there? Like just starting off with new people? Like
Yeah, you should. Yeah,
I
I,
don't
I
get
believe that's how that works. Yeah.
So I feel like I would
Let's
just
see.
play the
Matchmaking
same people over and over again because
match
I'm
quality
not
has
good
been
at the game.
improved for players in ranks 25 through 21, and they should now face more opponents of similar skill. Well, like when you're in 25 and 21, like there's lots of people there. I don't think that I don't think playing the same person's a real problem there.
No,
If you ask me,
I
yeah,
haven't done it since way back in the day when the game first came out.
yeah. They also did some arena set rotations. Let's see here. Rise of the Mech update. The available cards in the arena drafts will be rotating to the following sets. So you'll have Classic set, the Basic set, Goblins vs. Gnomes, the Grand Tournament, One Night in Karazhan, the Boomsday Project, and Rise of Shadows sets. So that will be the arena cards. And then moving on, they have 2 new card backs coming out. And a whole. Oh, here the card backs are Stolen Thunder and Shadowpan. Uh, earned from complete. Shadowpan is earned from completing 5 matches during the July season, and Stolen Thunder is earned by purchasing the Masters bundle. Shocker. And then
The
there's a
Shadow
whole.
Pan one's pretty cool looking. I always
Yeah,
liked the card that they
yeah.
had.
I like how that like the when they move. That's it is. I mean, they're both really neat. So
Mm-hmm.
then there's a whole list of bug fixes. We're not going to get into that. Um, we'll put a link to this page in the show notes for you guys, and you can read those bug fixes on your own. We'll be here all day if we do that. So that's it
Yeah.
for Hearthstone. So I guess now we're gonna skip down to this is kind of a news article, leak, whatever you want to call it, that's been floating around the gaming community over the last 2 or 3 days. Apparently, there was a StarCraft first-person shooter that was canceled.
Yes.
Just to kind of go into it, just to give a little bit of it here. They were secretly, obviously, making a StarCraft first-person shooter. They canceled the game, shut it down, and they did that in order to make room, not to make room, but to focus more on Diablo 4 and Overwatch 2. That's what the leaker's saying. The project's code name was Ares, Ares, and they described the game as being similar to the Battlefield franchise, but in the StarCraft universe. According to the sources, it was a massive shock that Blizzard canceled it because the game was looking pretty good, in their opinion. And
But
to quote
that
the
happens
leaker, they said it was looking quite good.
but that happens quite a bit, doesn't it? Like I remember hearing somewhere that they cancel like 50% of like games.
Yeah, but I
I
mean,
don't
I guess if the game is looking good, why cancel it?
Yeah.
I
I
understand they cancel a lot of games, but I would assume that's because they're looking to be quite bad. You know, they said
yeah.
that this was looking quite good, and it seems like this came to a shock of everybody in the studio. That's the vibe I'm getting from the leaker.
Yeah.
Nobody was laid off, but they were moved to the Diablo 4 and Overwatch 2 teams. They're saying that Diablo 4 and Overwatch 2 are expected to be announced at BlizzCon in the fall, and Overwatch 2 is rumored to have a large PvE element and has been compared to Left 4 Dead. I've never played that game, so
I have not either. I know it's a zombie type game, I believe.
gotcha. Uh, StarCraft Ares was described as something like It was an experiment with StarCraft on the Overwatch engine. So that would be actually really cool for a first-person shooter. Overwatch is great graphics. I love the way everything moves and feels in that game. So
Yeah, and
having
it's really
having a
fun to play.
StarCraft
So,
title on that engine would be really neat.
oh yeah, especially with like all the different like aliens that they have in the game, and
Yeah. So what are your thoughts on this?
I don't know. Like I don't play StarCraft, so I really don't know much about it. The only thing I could think of is that because StarCraft was what the heck are those games called? Like strategy game, like real time strategy games. So maybe they didn't like that it was becoming a first person shooter. I don't know. Should they have canceled? Like it came to a shock to everybody. It sounds like so. I I don't know. I don't know why they would cancel it if it's looking good. If all the people are enjoying what they're making, like I don't get why they canceled it.
My biggest thing too, I agree with everything you just said, and I'd like to add that when was the last time that StarCraft has had like a new anything
Um,
other than like DLCs? So like StarCraft 2 has had expansions, and then this last expansion has had like so-called DLC content. But as far as like
the
new anything,
I think the last time they did anything with StarCraft was in 2015 because I remember seeing it when I first went to BlizzCon.
yeah, I think that was just like DLC content. I don't think it was.
Yeah, I don't even know what it was. Like I said, I don't play StarCraft, so I really don't know. Um,
There's
yeah,
nothing. There's nothing. They haven't had anything. It's like Diablo. There's been nothing.
yeah, it's just kind of stale except
Just
for
kind of
Immortal.
stale. They've been giving
Um,
you like small little DLC patches for StarCraft, and that's it.
well, and they said what in 2016 that they weren't doing anything with StarCraft anymore. Is that when they said that?
Yeah, they said they were done with StarCraft 2 anyways.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. The only thing I could think of is maybe they didn't want to be a first person shooter and they kind of wanted it to go back to where it was, where it's a real time strategy game. I don't know. I
There
don't.
I wonder if they were so obviously like you'd have the PvE portion of the
Mhm.
first person shooter, right? I wonder if they had like a battle royale mode in there. Cuz that's big right now. Everybody loves that.
You know what that could be a thing because oh yeah, that is a big thing that Blizzard isn't on the bandwagon with yet. Um, yeah, I don't know. This right here, according to sources, was a massive shock that Blizzard canceled it as it was looking good. Why would you cancel it then?
Yeah.
I,
It
I'm at
blows my
loss of
mind.
words because I really don't know. Like
I get the
I
feeling
don't know
like
what to I don't even know what to think about it.
it's like your normal job, you know. If you have this feeling that things aren't going good, it's probably not. And if you feel
Hmm.
like it's going really good, it probably is. So when they
Yeah,
say that people thought this came as a shock to people, you have to be like, wow, wow. I It just blows my mind that they would shut this down. To be honest, because a StarCraft first-person shooter would be awesome.
yeah, it
I would
sounds
have
fun.
pre-ordered. You could have told me that tomorrow, and then it wouldn't be out for 3 years, and I probably would have pre-ordered it.
It would have been really exciting to see at BlizzCon, like a first person shooter.
Yeah, I
Um,
mean, obviously this podcast is Blizzard focused, and I wouldn't have thought twice. I love Blizzard products so much, I wouldn't have thought twice about pre-ordering that game.
yeah, especially a first person shooter. Like I'm not good at real time strategy games, but like a first person shooter, I would have been on it.
Oh yeah,
I would have been trying to get into the beta and hoping to God I got in to play it and see because that's how it was for Overwatch. It was like, oh my God, this game's awesome, and we got into like the little weekend beta. And I was like, oh my God, that was so much fun. I'd rather play this than at the time I was playing WoW. And I was like, oh man, I want to play this so bad. And it was
yeah.
fun.
I Overwatch came like as soon as they had the pre-order that day. I pre-ordered it. There was no questions. It was
Yeah,
here's
same.
my $70. Here.
Hmm. Do you think they're trying to do damage control with Diablo 4?
Oh, without
Can
a doubt,
like they canceled that game so they could pump out Diablo 4 since Immortal was such a shit show
without a doubt, without a doubt. They're putting
I
people.
wonder.
So this is my thoughts on it, right?
because it's going to Diablo 4 and Overwatch 2,
So
according to this guy who leaked this stuff.
so here is my take on this: is that they know that at this year's BlizzCon they have to announce Diablo 4, and I don't think
Or something, show something.
no they have to announce Diablo. I don't even think showing something at the, like last year would have been the year to go. Hey, we're working on this. In the meantime, we're going to
Mhm.
give you Immortal. I think this
That
year
would have been a great idea. That would have been the best way to bring Immortal up.
I think at this year BlizzCon, they're like, if we don't announce Diablo 4 and give a date, we're going to be in trouble. So
Hmm.
like, we don't have enough people. We can't bring enough people. We can't hire enough people and bring them up to speed to make this happen. So we have to cancel something that we're working on. They
Yeah.
decided the Starcraft FPS is what needed to be canceled, so they could put people on Diablo 4 and Overwatch 2.
Do you think they, when they cancel that, they just up it's deleted, or do you think it's just sitting there in the background so they can
Oh,
get Diablo
I'm sure they
4
have a
off the
copy.
ground?
I'm sure they have a copy of it somewhere. But according to that leaker, they said that nobody will ever see this game, this StarCraft
Yeah, so it's
FPS.
like, yeah,
It's
I don't know.
crazy. It's crazy. I mean, obviously, it's just a leak, so there's obviously something we're not being told.
Yeah, and who knows what's
But
if
it's
it's
like I
actually
said,
true.
if they don't announce Diablo 4 and a date at BlizzCon, there might be riots in the streets of Anaheim. I'll be there to
Hmm.
film it. I'll be there to film it. But that's what's going to happen. So, and I think they're worried about Overwatch too. It's like we were talking the other day. It wasn't on the podcast. We were just shooting the shit. That at what point in Overwatch does just giving new maps and new characters become stale?
Yeah,
At some point it's stale. And I remember when Overwatch came out, me anyways, I was like, wait, there's no story mode with this. This is all just, I get on
you
points and I got
just
to hold
log
a
in.
point, or I got to move a payload somewhere. That's all this game is. Fun? Yes. Fun for a long time. It gets old fast.
It would be
So
nice if they had a little bit of a story mode in there, because you get like each character has like their own little story. I don't follow them, but if they
yeah,
had like a story mode, it would be a lot better. Which they kind of, what was that? I don't even know what the heck it was called. It was a while ago. It was a couple of years ago, where you did like the scenario type thing.
yeah. It was just like a little scenario event that told a story, and people love it. I mean, they're fun. They still do them now.
Oh, do they?
Yeah, they still do them like once a year or whatever.
Yeah. See, I don't know. The game is fun, but I got bored with it because it was just kind of the same thing over and over and over again.
Yeah, if you're not doing ranked and trying to rake up, then. But I
And
think
I'm
that
in that spot where I'm not good enough to play ranked, but I don't know.
I
Casual
think
play is kind of bad because everybody just gets like no one tries and they all play damage and you're like the only healer or the only tank and then they wonder why they lose, and then they have a rage fit.
so. I hope Overwatch 2 is what I think it's going to be. I think they're going to have the huge story, like like a lot of first person shooters have.
Hmm.
Then they'll have that battle royale element to where it'll be like the current Overwatch, to where yes, you're moving payloads, you're holding points, blah 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 blah. So
Do you think they should do kind of what like Fortnite's done and do that type of, I don't know if that's a battle royale or whatever that is, but do you think they'll have that in there?
no,
No.
no, because the reason those games work like that is because everybody's playing the same character, and
Hmm.
so the only thing that changes the outcome is skill and what loot drops. The problem with dealing with that with Overwatch is there's multiple classes.
That's true.
You would have to limit it to
But I
one
can see
class.
Blizzard trying to jump onto that because that is the
Well,
biggest
you got to
big
think
thing.
Overwatch in itself is just a giant team-based battle royale, right? Because you're trying to
Yeah.
control a point or move a payload. So in a way, it's the same, but it's a little different. If that makes sense.
Hmm.
So, but I mean, the StarCraft cancellation it's really sad because I think it would have been great.
Yeah, and I feel bad for the people that who knows how long they've been working on it for, because they're always like, we have, you know, hidden projects going on all the time. I feel bad for them for however long they worked on it for it just to be canceled, you know.
Yeah.
But
So the last two
I don't
points
know.
I have with this is the first one would be Dustin Browder, who led the Heroes of the Storm and StarCraft 2 teams, was supposed to be the director of the project. Um, yeah, I mean, that is what it is. I think this is also really important to be said, too, for future Blizzard in general, is that Blizzard has wanted to move as many games as possible to the same technology as the Overwatch engine to be more efficient, which
I don't. I don't
I
know.
see.
I'll have to look more into like I don't know technology and stuff. So like
I don't know
I
either, but I
I
know
don't think Diablo would look good like Overwatch. You know what I mean? I just don't.
if
I like
Diablo, well, well,
I want Diablo to be dark, and I don't want it to be first person at all. I want it to be, third person view or whatever the hell that's called, where you're above the shoulder,
what if
like it is now.
Diablo is similar to like Dark Souls? That's the same, basically the same thing, just a different view. Like you're behind them. What's your thoughts on that?
I would try it, but I don't know. I like Diablo being a point and click game. That's just how it's been for the last how long? 20 plus years I've been playing it. You know.
Gotcha. Yeah, I I don't play Diablo, so I'm kind of neutral. But I feel like that if they were to take Diablo, and maybe this is what Diablo 4 is going to be, and make it like a Dark Souls type game,
And we had talked about that a long time ago, like a year or so ago.
that
I
would
remember
be
you brought that up.
I think it would be so crazy. I think it would sell so many games if they made it like that style of game where it was really hard, you know, consoles, PC right off the bat, not PC and then console down the road when they make a
Mm-hmm.
patch for it. But like, I think Diablo 4 would be huge. I think it would be bigger than Dark Souls or Sekiro or all those other games that are that version.
Really that hard? Like, yeah.
I think Diablo. I think that would be it'd be the biggest game out there in my opinion. I'm also a Blizzard fanboy, but that's just
Yeah, I
yeah,
don't. I still like the point and click. If it was like that, it'd be neat. Like I said, I'd still play it, and I would probably like it because Diablo is one of my favorite games. But I think with Diablo 4, they need to go back to kind of how it was in Diablo 1 and Diablo 2, just dark and very. I don't. To me, the game's a lot harder. Those two games were a lot harder than they are now.
and
Diablo 3 doesn't start getting hard till you start jumping up into like torment in the torment levels, like 11 and 12. You know,
yeah.
so.
So sitting here thinking about this just now and thinking about the way Blizzard's going, I think Diablo Immortal that's your that's your point and click version, and I think Diablo 4 is going to be a total overhaul on the Overwatch engine, freaking like Dark Souls style. I think it's going to be dark. It's going to be bloody. I think it's going to be everything you're looking for in Diablo. It's just going
Mhm.
to be Dark Souls style.
Yeah, I'd have to. I don't know. I'd have to try it. I don't know.
And the reason I say
I think
that,
if they
go ahead.
no, you can finish here.
I was
What
going
you
to
were
say,
saying?
and the reason I think that is because the StarCraft game was a first-person shooter, which has that
Hmm.
same kind of feel as like a Sekiro or a Dark Souls, but you're just your range and you're shooting. So
Yep.
these people that were in that game had all this experience making that. And now they're transferring them to Overwatch 2, which is obviously a first-person shooter style game, and now Diablo 4.
Yeah, that is true. Thinking about yeah, they might put it that way.
And like I
I'll
said
have to
earlier,
see. I'll have to
like I
try
said
it.
earlier, I think they did that because they're like, we have to announce Diablo at BlizzCon. We're not going to hit that deadline. We need to cancel something to make this happen. Oh, let's cancel
They're
StarCraft. All these people have all this experience making this type of a game. We'll put them over there and we'll get it done.
we'll move 'em to Overwatch 2, which is already a first-person shooter, and if they're changing Diablo into, they'd have good experience. But that's rough because everybody wants Diablo 4, and they're going to be expecting it to be like it is now with the like point and click. they changed it to over their shoulder, like Dark Souls and all that, I don't know how people would take it. It might be another Diablo Immortal. People might be pissed.
They might be.
If I saw that,
If
I
they
don't know if
could,
I'd be too happy,
if you can play
honestly.
Diablo Immortal on the phone, and I bet you, I don't know if they said it would be on the Switch or not, but it'd be perfect for the Switch. It'd be if you could have it.
uh
I don't know. If you could have Diablo Immortal on all devices, it'd be fine. And then Diablo 4 would be your main consoles, like Switch, Xbox, PlayStation, and obviously PC. I think that would be
and
the
see, the
right
people
move.
that play like Diablo on console, I think going over to it being on a phone isn't going to change a thing because it's already like that on console. But the biggest problem is people that play PC like me going from point and click to on the phone is a huge change, and I don't like change, but
I wish people would just try it before they hate it.
oh, I'm definitely gonna try it, and I know I'm gonna like it. I'm a Diablo fan,
It's like we
but
said earlier when we were talking about patch 8.2. We shouldn't hate on it because we haven't tried it yet. We don't think
yes.
it's going to be good, but I'm willing to give it the benefit of the doubt in the meantime. I wish
Oh, it's gonna be
people.
a good story. It's gonna be in between Diablo 1 or in Diablo 2 and 3. It's gonna be in between there, the story. I just think everybody's biggest issue is what it's on. Besides it being on a cell phone, is how it's like played, how you have to play it.
Yeah.
So,
We'll see. Big
but
stuff.
we'll see. And
Big
if they
stuff.
make Diablo 4 as hard as like Dark Souls and all that, I've never played those games and I've always wanted to. It'd probably be pretty fun, but I don't know. If they announce it this at BlizzCon, I'd be more expecting it to be a point and click
Right.
than like
I bet
Dark Souls.
I people rumored months ago that the next version of Diablo was going to be like an over the shoulder style game.
And you had actually brought that up. What? That was almost a year ago. You were talking about that.
Yeah, that's how long ago I had
So
heard about that. I truthfully believe
maybe
that's
even
what it's going to be.
farther.
I bet you
I
that's what
could
it's going
see
to
him
be.
doing it. And it like I said before, they're just in a rough spot with that because excuse me, it could either turn out great or it could be another Diablo Immortal where
So,
people are going to boo you on stage because of how you change the game so
you know what?
much.
So the people that go to BlizzCon are obviously like big diehard Blizzard fans, right?
Mm-hmm.
But if Blizzard only keeps those people happy, it'll be the same thing every year, and you're going to end up in a World of Warcraft situation, right?
Yeah.
If they don't branch out and try to get new players into their content, they have to, and I think that's how it's going to have to be.
Yeah. Like I said, when it comes out, I'm going
I
to
hope
play
it's
it no
good.
matter what. So I just hope it's good too.
I hope it's good. I'm up for whatever as long as it's good. So, all right, well, we beat that to hell too, huh?
Yeah. Yeah. Just a little bit.
All right, so if you I'll do the first one. This next topic here. Uh, so we'll be moving on to our off gaming topic segment of our show. Uh,
Which are usually pretty quick. So
yeah. Let's see here. The Call of Duty franchise is launching a new game on October 25th, and it's going to be launching on the BattleNet app, which hey, sounds good to me, right?
mhm.
Let's
Call of Duty
see.
was always fun. I'm not good
I
at first person shooters, but it's fun.
I never played it. So yeah, basically it's coming back to PC and launching on BattleNet on October 25th. There is a little trailer on YouTube if you'd like to watch it, and you are
Yeah,
able
the
to
video is
you're
really
able to
neat.
pre-purchase now if you want.
It's a I think this is actually just a remake of the original. Because it's Call of Duty Modern Warfare for PC is back. Modern Warfare was on PS3. I actually have it. It was on PS3 I don't even years ago, and it was really really fun. So I wonder if they just remastered this. I haven't really looked into it too much. I just
I don't.
watched.
I haven't looked into it either. I just know it's on BattleNet, and I figured we should probably talk about it.
Yeah, so that'll
I
probably be
would
pretty fun.
I would like to assume it's a new game. So we'll see.
Well,
Is
they
that
already made a Modern Warfare title, like franchise. They made like 3 games out of it.
yeah?
So I wonder. I really wonder if this is a remaster.
Maybe it is a remaster.
I
Let's
haven't
see
looked. I'll have to look
here.
into this more. So go ahead.
I'm looking into it. Online
Oh,
multiplayer playground. So that means you're gonna get a battle royale. I think that's pretty important. It
yeah.
says
So
right
it's
in
gonna be
here.
like what we have now, Call of Duty 4 or whatever it is. I don't even know what it is. Ghost 4 or something.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So that's cool.
Yeah,
Uh,
it'll be fun.
then we got two more off-topic gaming news here. Um,
Yeah.
I'll talk about the first one, and you can take the second one because you know about that.
Okay.
So, the first one here is Pokemon. Nintendo has released that Pokemon Sword and Pokemon Shield will release worldwide November 15th for the Nintendo Switch. Personally, I am super stoked. The whole reason I bought a Nintendo Switch was so I could play Pokemon on it, and yeah, so
Yeah, I'm hoping
boom.
it's pretty cool. Few of the generations, I don't like this. I don't know if it's the last one or the one before that. They had some really bad Pokemon design. Like I wasn't a fan of the keychain Pokemon or the chandelier Pokemon and the ice cream Pokemon. So hopefully these ones are better designed.
Yes, I agree.
But I feel like they're kind of running out of ideas because how many animals are there in the world? So
Yeah, that's all I got for that. So if you want to take the last one,
yeah, then moving on. Path of Exile launched their new league, Legion. I believe that was the other day. So it's just a new league, which is fun to play. And they also
before you move
says
on,
they're welcoming. Yep.
before you move
Go
on,
ahead.
what is a Path of Exile League?
A league is just like a season in Diablo.
Oh,
So you get your character and you play it, and then when the season's done, that character can no longer be played on the season or the league, and they move it to the regular game, and you start
gotcha.
all over again.
Perfect. I had no idea what that is. Now I do. So sorry to
Yeah.
interrupt. You could go. Moving on.
So it's also kind of like a little bit of an expansion, I believe. I believe they add content. It's not just like Diablo or it's up season 18's out now. It's the same game. It's just season 18.
Right.
I believe these ones have different stuff in there, like up. So
Cool.
and they also are, it says welcoming our new Korean community. So that's cool. They got a server in South Korea. So
That is huge.
it's big for them because I believe at like when the game came out, they weren't like they're not a big company. It was like it was out of some other country, and it was almost like one of those like GoFundMe type things, I
The Path
believe.
of Exile people.
Yeah,
I thought they were ex Blizzard employees that left.
is that how it is? I always thought this place was out of a different country.
I think they were.
Oh, I'll have to look into it more.
I think they were old Diablo 2 devs, and they left and went and made their own game. If I'm not, I could be wrong. But I'm pretty
You
sure
could be
that's
right.
how it
I've
went,
only been playing Path of Exile for like 6 months, so
and I'm pretty sure they all that GoFundMe stuff might have been true. But at first, it was
I
very
don't
just. It
know.
was like
That's how I took.
six guys in a basement making a video game.
Like that's kind of how I don't even know if that part's true. I just that's kind of how I took it because it's not like Activision, made Path of Exile. It's like this is, I believe, the only game they have.
There was a
So
video floating around on YouTube uh, where the guy might have been the CEO of whatever that company is on how they came to be. Did like a big presentation somewhere.
for Path of Exile,
Yes, it's kind of neat.
I'm gonna try and find it.
You have to try
Do
to
some
find it
more on this game.
and watch it.
So if you
So
haven't played it, it's extremely fun. It's just like Diablo. Um, and I think we talked about it a little bit before. It's got a steep learning curve. They kind of throw you in and you look at stuff and you're like, holy crap! But you can find millions of guides online on what you want to play, and yeah, and even YouTube. So
yeah, it looks like the character builds and the talent tree is very overwhelming at first, but if you just look up some guides online, I'm pretty sure
Yeah.
won't be so bad after a while. It's like
No,
anything
no, you
else.
gotta.
It's like anything else. You gotta learn to play a little bit, you know. So
So yeah,
that's it for this week. We
yeah,
did it. We got another week down, episode 2.
hell yeah.
So
So
it's time for the shameless plugs.
yeah, gotta love the shameless plugs.
Go ahead.
You want me to go first this week?
Yeah, you go first this week.
All right. My name is Sean, or Rurruk_gaming. You can find me on Twitch at Rurruk_gaming. This week I've been streaming a lot of Diablo. Um, so maybe get back into some WoW, maybe not. Kind of enjoying Diablo right now. And then you can also find me on Twitter at Rurruk Gaming, capital R and a capital G.
Very good.
That's about it for me.
And I'm Wayne. I can be found on Twitch at Wayne DePayne, Instagram Wayne DePayne1, Twitter Wayne DePayne1, and YouTube. Just search Wayne DePayne1, and I'm sure I'll pop up there. I don't have a custom URL or anything, but if you search it, you'll find it. And yeah, I have no idea what I'm gonna do this week. And just so we don't forget, this week's video episode is going to be posted on Rurruk's channel, Sean's channel here. So
Yes.
we decided that instead of posting it 2 places every week, we are going to flip flop every week on where the video is posted. So this week or last week, episode 1 was on my channel. This week it's on Sean's. Episode 3 will be on my channel, so on and so forth. And then
I get the evens.
we talked that if it ever gets big enough, we'll just give it its own channel, and then they'll all go there. But in the meantime, we're just gonna flip flop. So, other than that's it. I guess thanks for listening.
And then we'll see you for episode 3.
Yep. See ya. Peace.
Later.